Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see the commonly used commands in Redshift and let us analyze them as well. You can see I have already created one Redshift cluster. So the name of that Redshift cluster is this, and even the status of that Redshift cluster is now under available state. You can see the endpoint. In order to connect to my Redshift cluster, I need endpoint, right? So I'm just copying this. Now to connect to this, I have already one Linux machine launched, and by using that terminal, after connecting to my EC2 Linux machine, now I'm expected to connect to this Redshift. So for that, you know already the command that is PSQL. So let's first try to connect with the simple command user. Admin is the current user that I have created while that I have provided for my database while creating this Redshift. Now I'm connecting to this by using this command. Here I'm just pasting it by I just copied, right? So for pasting that, just press Control Shift V so that your database endpoint will be created. Your database endpoint will be pasted here. You can see it was pasted. So since I'm expected to log in by using username admin, I provided this. So by using PSQL, that is PostgreSQL only, I'm connecting. So since you're writing this and you're not specifying this as your endpoint and this is your database, you need to write before this, that is a PostgreSQL colon double slash. After this, you need to provide this. So I have provided, I'm just clicking on enter so that it asks me the password. So I just providing me the password. You can see I have connected successfully. I can also show you the another way. I'm just clicking on Control Z so that it just moves back. So another way to connect is PSQL and my host is, so just again press Control Shift V. It was not pasting that. So again, I'm expecting to copy that endpoint. I just came back and copied once again the endpoint. Yeah. Now I again moving back to my terminal tab. Yes, I moved there. Now I'm expecting to paste that. So Control Shift V. Yeah, it's pasted successfully. Now what I want to tell here, I need to tell. So up to this, up to .com is my host name, and this number is nothing but my port number, and this is nothing but this lab database is nothing but my database. So I just clicking on enter. So you can see it's asking me the password. So I'm again providing the password. I forgot to provide my username, right? Yeah. Anyway, it will come back. So you can see we got some error that is password authentication failed because we haven't provided any username. Since we haven't provided any username, it taken the username as the normal username for this for connecting to this terminal. So I'm just return the same command, and then now I'm providing the username that is admin. So since that is the username of my database, I just provided it. Now I'm again providing my password. So we are successfully connected. Yes. So you have seen one important point, that is in order to connect, you have two commands. So first command is this PSQL and username that you need to specify at first. Then after specify the PostgreSQL colon double slash, you can directly paste your endpoint here, Redshift cluster endpoint. The another way is you can write like this. That is, where is that? Yeah. So Postgres PSQL and host you need to specify up to .com, and then you need to specify the port number, and then you need to specify the database D hyphen D with the database name, then hyphen U, which indicates the user that you need to specify here. Then it asks you the password. So just enter the password. Even the password that you entered is not visible to you. Just click on enter so that if password is correct, then it will be connected. If not, then you got this error. That is password authentication failed error, right? Yeah. So now we successfully connected to our database. Now what I'm expecting is I'm expected to see what are the databases which are present under my Redshift cluster. By default, we connected to one database. You can see lab database. So by default, we connected to one database, that is the lab database. Now I'm expecting to expand what are the list of databases available in my cluster. So for that, /l plus you need to enter, then click. You can see what are the databases you have, those all are visible here. So now what I'm expecting is, since my screen is full, I'm just expecting to clear it. So for that, you just write /clear /negation clear. So you can see, yes, my tab got cleared successfully. Yes. Now we just connected and we have seen the list of databases that we have. Now what I'm expecting is, I'm expecting to create one database. So for that, what is the command set? For that, create database space database name you need to provide. So for example, I'm providing D1 as my database name. Yeah, you can see create database. You got this message, then your database created successfully. You can even verify them by listing your databases. Have again written /l plus. You can see D1 was created and admin is the owner for it. And you can see lab database that also created by admin, and this admin is the owner for that. Whereas coming to other, the owner is who? RDS DB. So whenever you're creating any RDS database, then by default, it will create these two templates and one more database, and to manage your RDS, it will create these by default. So, okay. Now, let's see, I've created one database. I have two databases, right? D1 is one database and lab database is one database. Now, I created D1 database. Currently, now I'm in lab database. What I'm expecting is I want to connect it to D1 database. So if you want to, so in order to analyze the data in D1 database, first I need to connect it to it, right? Yes. So let's see how to connect to this database. For that, /c, and what is the database name that you want to do? This /c indicates connect to this database, whatever the database name that you specified. You can see till now it is under lab database. Now, whenever I clicked on enter, you can see we are under D1 database, right? Yes, we are under D1 database. You are now connected to database D1 as a user admin. So in this way, you can able to connect. Let's say I want to move back to this lab database. I want again connect to this lab database. Then you can do again the same command /c lab database. So just click on enter. Now you can see you are connected to database, that is a lab database and user admin. So you again connected to lab database. Now, so I have understood how to create my database. So let's say one of my user created one database. Now I want to delete that database. I want to delete this database. Currently I have two databases, right? So for this lab purpose, one is sufficient for me. In real time also, if you created one more database, unknowingly, then you want to remove that database, right? So let's see how to remove that database. For that, you have a drop command. So drop database. And what is the database that you want to drop? I want to drop D1. So I just provided that. So you can see drop database. So the D1 database got dropped. So now again, let's see the list of databases that I have and verify whether the D1 got dropped or not. So you can see under list of databases, I do not have D1 now. So the D1 got removed. That means a drop. So previously, how many databases I have? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even that was clearly written here, 6 rows. So now 5 rows only. That means one database got dropped, that is D1. So that was done by whom? Us only. You can see by using this command, we have dropped. Now we have seen how to create a database and how to connect a database and how to move from one database to another database and how to drop or delete the database. Now let's see, I want to connect to this lab database. Currently I'm in the lab database only, but if you are in another database and expecting to connect to another database, then write this command. So /c hyphen, what is the database name you want to connect? So I want to connect to lab database. So I've written that and just clicking enter. You can see you are connected to lab database. Okay. Now I have connected to my required database. What I'm expecting is I am expecting to see the list of tables. I want to see the database tables. For that, is there any command, sir? Yes, there is a command for us. That is /dt, which indicates database tables. You can see currently did not find any relations. Any relations means no tables are found. So now let's focus on how to create a table. How to create a table. For that, you have a Postgres SQL command, that is create table. This create and table are keywords and you need to provide the table name. Create table name. So I'm providing, since this is first table, I like to provide T1 as my table name. I just provided like that. Create table name, and within brackets, you need to provide the schema of that table. Let's say in my T1 table, I'm expecting to store ID as well as number, ID as well as name. So ID is nothing but integer type. So I'm specifying ID as int type, comma. Since I'm expecting to store name as well, I've written the column name as name and data type as varchar. Since this is a string, name is nothing but string, right? So in this database query language, we can return that by using varchar. So I'm expecting to provide string length up to 10 characters only. So that's why I specified 10. Now I'm closing this. I'm closing this bracket. So here I just provided my column names, that is ID and name. And I also provided my type of data these columns will hold. So we can call this as schema. We can call this as schema, table related schema, table schema. So in this way, we can able to create a table. I'm just clicking on enter. You can see my table is created. So you can see my table is created with these two as column names, and these columns will hold ID will hold integer type and name will hold varchar, that is nothing but string type data. So now let us see these database tables. Does this table is created in my database or not? So for that, I would like to list all my database tables. For that, I have /dt is my command. I'm just clicking on enter. You can see my database tables. List of relations are available here. You can assume like what are the list of tables you have. So I have one table, that is T1. This what type? Table type, and the owner is admin. Since I have created, I am the owner. And the schema is even public. So remember this public, I will told you in depth about providing access to this table as well. So for that, you need to remember this table is public. Okay. Now I have created one table. Now I want to see what data that a table has. What data does the table has? So if you want to see the items which are present under the table, then you can write the command that is select star. Star indicates all from what is the table that you want to see. Since I am expecting to see inside my T1, I just write in that. And semicolon is important. You can see I have 0 rows, but this is the format, ID comma name. So now, since my table does not have any data, any rows or any items, I'm expecting to write one data into it. So for that, do I have any command to insert some items into it? Yes. We have a command that is insert. Insert into, insert into. What is the table that you need to provide? T1. And what are the columns? ID comma name are my columns. So insert into table these columns with values. So with what values do you want to insert? Those you want to provide. So you want to provide the ID. So currently I'm providing 1 and name. So since name is a string, I'm expecting to write in double quotes. So remember, you got some error. You can see you got some error. What is that error? Column double quotes Sai does not exist in T1. So in this table, the type of a column does not exist. So why do you get this error? Because while creating your table, you specified name as varchar. That is nothing but string. In this, in this PSQL, that is a Postgres SQL programming language, SQL query language, this double quote does not indicate a string. You need to represent your string inside single quotes. So don't worry, I'll show you that. So like this, you need to represent your data that is a string inside single quotes. So now I am just again rewriting that data that is insert into T1. So with these places, I want to insert these values. So I'm just clicking on enter. You can see inserted. One value got inserted in it. So now I am expected to see the data inside the table. Previously, I have 0 rows. Since I have inserted this, I want to check whether this data is inserted or not. So for that, you have a command select star from T1. So what are the command that we used previously? That's what we are using now again. So you can see one row got inserted. So one row. So for under name, Sai is inserted. Under ID, I have one is inserted. Right? Yes. Okay, done. We have clearly created one table inside my database, and we have also seen schema of our table, and we have also seen how to see the data inside my table, and we have also seen how to insert data into my table. Now let's see how to create one more column. You can say I have ID column, name column. Now I am expecting to provide one more column, that is phone number. So for that, how to do this, sir? So since you are altering your table, you have command alter table, table name. So what is our table name? In this case, T1 is our table name. So I just provided that. And what I want to do, I want to add, right? Yes. I want to add column, right? So that you need to write add column. So what column name you want to add? So since I'm adding phone number, I'm writing PH phone number. So I have written that, and you need to write what type of data that this phone number will hold. So if you want to hold some text, so you just need to write this text. So I'm just clicking on enter. You can see your table is altered. So now let's select, let's see the data inside my table. That is select a star from T1. So yeah. So here you can see if you return some syntax incorrectly, then you got this is syntax error. You can see select spelling was wrong. Yes. So if you got this error, then which indicates your syntax is wrong. So I'm just again writing select star from T1. So whenever you're writing your syntax, you need to take care of it. You can see one more column got added, right? Yes. One more column got added successfully in my table, right? Yeah. Now I want to put under phone number, I would like to put some phone number. So for that, for all users, I want to change. So for that, you have a command update. So by using this update command, you can able to update your table. So what table you are expecting to update? T1. And what you want to set? You want to set your phone number, right? So I want to set my phone number to some value like 9. So like this, I'd like to provide some phone number and set this to all users. So I just clicked on enter. So let's see it's executed or do I get some error? Yeah, update one. So one update got successful. So let's see by watching the table, let's see the update is the data is updated or not. So again, I'm writing syntax errors. Select star from T1. So I'm just clicking on enter. It was loading. Yeah. So you can see the phone number that I've provided that got updated here, right? Yes. So like this, you can able to add a column and you can able to update the values of that column as well. Okay. So you have understood how to create a table and how to see the table and how to add the data into the table and how to add a column into the table. So let's see, let's add one more row and let's see how to delete that row. So let's see how to add one more item into my table and how to delete that item from my table. So for that, I'm just moving on. I'm just moving on with, so once again. Now I'm expecting to insert one more row. So for that, you need to again write insert into table. What is the table T1? Then we need to provide the column names. So ID is one column, name is one column, phone number is one more column. So I have provided those three and I want to add the values as the first value, ID value as 2 and the name as Ajay and the phone number as, so some random number I am just providing. Yeah. So the number. So I'm just clicking on enter. You can see one more row got inserted. So now see that whether it was added in my table or not by selecting all from my table. To watch all the data in my table, I just selected all from my table. You can see Ajay user got added and Sai is there. So I have two rows. Now I'm expecting to drop one user. Let's say I want to drop Sai. So for that, you have an option that is drop table, drop from table. The table name is T1 and so here you need to write the condition where the condition is name is Sai. If the name is Sai, then just drop that user. So that's it. So I'm just clicking on enter. You can say I got some error, that is syntax error. Actually, the command is delete. Delete from table T1 where name is Sai. So you can see it will execute within few seconds. Yeah, one person got removed. That is one row got removed. So one row got deleted. So when do you use this delete from table? If you want to delete one row in your table, then you use this delete from table. So once again, I am telling you use a drop to drop your database, and you can even drop a table as well within the database. Whatever the tables you have, those tables you can able to drop as well. So let's see, you have seen how to drop a user within your table. Now let's see how to drop a table from your database. For that, I'm creating one more table, that is table 2. Create table T2. So with some data in it. So for that, I'm just providing integer and name, which is a varchar, that is a string type. And I'm just, yeah, that's it. Those two are enough for me. So let's see the database tables, those I have. Here you can see T1 is one table and T2 one table. Now I'm expecting to drop this T2. So for that, drop table. What is the table name? That is T2, right? Yes. So I just provided, I just clicked on enter. You can see drop table. My table got dropped. So for that, in order to verify that, so let's see tables, database tables. So for that, /dt. You can see only one table is there, that is another table got dropped, right? Yes. And we also need to verify previous thing, that is we have dropped this Sai, right? So by using this command, where it is, yeah. So by using this command, just verify whether I have only Ajay or not in this, so that I can understood that is drop. So for that, I'm writing the command, that is select star from T1. So star indicates all. Select all rows, all columns. Select all columns from T1. You can even able to get only particular number of columns from your table by selecting only specific items. Like let's say I want ID comma name. So then you can able to specify like this, and from where you want, from T1. So just provided. So there will be some error. I think brackets are not there. Yeah, I hope that's a mistake. Yeah, you can see we only got ID and name. If you want only ID, then you just write ID, or else if you want only name, just write name, and from where you want to see the data that you need to write. So select a name from T1. So I need to get a name and Ajay inside that. So you can see we got that. So like that, you can able to select specific data as well. Now we have seen how to create a table, how to create a database, and how to delete those, and how to create item inside my table, and how to remove that item as well. So now let's move a bit related to this Redshift. That is, now let's see system view of our tables. That means, so whether our data is stored in which type of mode, that is a key distribution or auto distribution or all distribution or event distribution. For that, for that, we have an option, that is select star from system view table information. So in short, SVV table info. So by using this command, you can able to see that. So just click on enter. Now you can see. So what are the tables I have? Those all will be listed here. So I have only one table that is visible here, that is a T1. And you can see the distribution style. Under this distribution style, you can see it is in auto distribution style. So from this, we can even say that by default, what is the distribution style our data will took? That is auto distribution style. So I'm just moving back. So for that, just click on Q so that you just move back. Now I want to see in expand format. So for that, so since all the data is in row wise, I want to see the data in expanded format. So for that, you have expansion on mode. You just on it so that your data will be displayed in rows. So you can even analyze that. I'm again selecting all from SVV table info. So like this, your data will be displayed. All your columns will be like this and all your data will be like this. Only one record is there, and that record is related to which table? T1 table. Since only one table is there, so only one record is there. The schema of my table is public and which is present in my database. So let's concentrate on distribution style. What is that? Auto is my distribution style. Now I'm expecting to make the distribution style as key distribution. So I'm expecting to change the distribution style. So for that, do I have any command? Yes. So alter table name, that is T1, and alter distribution style. So what is the name? DIST style, distribution style. To which distribution style you want to move. So currently it is in auto distribution style. So now what I'm expecting is I want to move that distribution style to even distribution style. So I'm just clicked on even. So let's see whether it got changed or not. So alter, table alter. So let's see by system view whether it got changed or not. Select star from SVV table info. You can see the event distribution style it is. So currently now I don't want even. I want all distribution style. For that, what I need to do? So again, the same thing, alter table T1 and alter distribution style as all. So just put semicolon and click enter. So that's it. You got the message. So just wait for it a minute. Yeah, alter table done. So let's see from query, select a star from system view, table info. So I'm just again watching. So you can see the distribution style is now all. So all is my distribution style is. So now I'm expecting to move on with another distribution style, that is key distribution style. So remember, for this key distribution style, you need to provide one more value. So for that I will tell you now. So alter table name, alter distribution style as key, and here what you need to provide is distribution key. So that you need to provide here. So what is that? Distribution key. So you need to specify one of the column as your distribution key. I want to specify my ID as my distribution key. I just selected that. So I'm clicking on. So yeah, syntax error, distribution key. My distribution style is key type and distribution style spelling wrong. That is a DIST and my key is my distribution key is ID. So I'm just again entering it. Let's see whether it was updated or not. Again, we are getting error. So you can see the table is altered. So let's again see the table related data. Select star from system view, table, info to see the distribution style. So you can see the distribution style is now key, where key is that ID. Based on that ID, your data will be distributed. So that's great. We have seen the distribution styles, and that means we have changed the distribution styles as well. Now, let's focus on creating a user to grant only particular permissions to that user to view. That is, let's say in your organization, you have one user. So that user can able to update particular data. That user can have some particular data related to one database table. So in order to update that data in your table, in your database, he requires some credentials, right? Yes. So how do you provide that? How do you grant that access to that user? So if you want to do that, you have an option for it as well. Create user with username you need to provide. Since it's a user one, I provided U1 as the username. And you need to provide password, right? Yes. So with password, so P1 as the password. So that's it. So remember, password is string type. So you need to take care while providing the password. So otherwise you will get the errors like me. So take care. So you can see it has some condition. You need to specify 8 characters and one character is alphabet. So I'm just providing randomly more than 8. So you can see that user is created. So in this way, you can able to create one user. And you can even grant the permissions to that user by using the grant command. Grant. I'm expecting to provide select. So he can able to select ID and name from my table T1. So ID and name from on public table, that is T1, to user one, that is U1. So I just entered. You can see we have granted the permission as well. So in this way, you can able to grant the permission to the users as well. Let's say I want to see the database users. So for that, you have command du /. So just click it. I have 3 records. That is, one is user one, and one is RDS database, and one is admin. You can also see the attributes. Those are permissions for him. So let's now, I want to see, I want to off the expansion mode. For that, X off is the expansion mode. Off. Again, I want to see the database users. You can see these are the database users, these 3, and their permissions, right? Yes. So now I want to set the session for user 1. For that, your command, that is set user authorization. What is the user that you want to set that authorization that you need to provide here? Set session authorization, not user authorization. So that you need to provide like this, so that you can able to set user authorization. Now, let's say by using, so for this user, I granted the permissions of my table T1 for my columns, what ID and name. So let's see from this user, I want to select all the data that he has access from table T1. So I have written, you can see you can able to access only ID and name. But actually in my table T1, I have phone number as well. So we have even log into that user, and we have even verified what are the access that he has. So in this way, we can able to control the access to all our users. Now I want to move back to my admin credentials. So for that, set session for default. So write that so that your default login will be set. So now you are admin. So in this way, you can able to create multiple databases under your cluster, Redshift cluster. And in this way, you can able to create databases, tables, as well as items inside your database cluster. Even you can change the distribution style as well. And you can even delete the items inside your table, or you can even delete the tables, or you can even drop databases as well in this way. And you can even create users with granting only specific columns permissions to that particular users. So those all things you can able to do by using this Redshift cluster. Inside this, you can able to do, and you can able to store, and you can able to analyze the data. In that way, you can able to manage or orchestrate your database of your Redshift clusters. I hope this video is understanding to you. I think you got some knowledge or knowledge recap from this video. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye, guys.